I'm CJ, and today I'm doing a request. I got a request on Tumblr to do a review for Star Wars. Um, yeah, and just so you know, I got a new tablet, nifty. So I'll actually be on Tumblr somewhat more often. I mean, I can't say that I'm going to be on it, a whole lot or anything, but I'll be on it more often. So, if you do send requests through Tumblr, like the one I've got, yay, I got a request, I'll go ahead and, respond to it more likely than not. If I don't respond to it or if it takes a while for me to respond to it, I do apologize. I can't really guarantee how much I'm going to be on Tumblr. I haven't been on it very much because I have a Windows phone, and honestly, like, Windows phones suck for Tumblr. They suck for basically every app. Like, as far as the phone itself goes, I'm going to go into a little review on my phone because, Windows phones are great. They really are. It's an awesome phone. I love it a lot. It is an amazing phone. It's really convenient. Like, the setup for it is, different than, most phones that you're used to and everything, but it's not like horribly complicated. It's not an insane mess. It's actually really nice. If you have Windows 8 on your computer, or Windows 10, and you use the app setting on it, it's the same exact thing for the phone. It has a wonderful operating system. The only problem with it is there's no damn apps. And the 3 apps that there are never get updated. It just, that really sucks. Like, app developers just don't care about Windows phones. Like, they do more for, the Kindle and the Amazon App Store than they do the Windows Store, which is just ridiculous to me, especially because Windows is going to be updating to Windows 10 very soon. So I mean, it's going to be the same exact setup as on the computer, but sorry, my wife was telling me that I'm rambling, but anyways, I like rambling. I mean, if you've seen any of my videos, I like rambling. But yeah, I mean, it's a great. My point being, before I was so rudely interrupted, Windows phones, they are awesome. I do recommend them. They're great phones. Except, if you like playing games on your phones, don't get them. Because, like, half of the games, really more than half of the games, are not available on Windows phones. And it really sucks. Maybe that'll change with the Windows 10 update. I know that Microsoft is also working on on an app to allow you to download apps from the Google Play Store as well. So I mean, and that, they're saying that that'll be released, after the Windows 10 update. So I mean, if that happens, then go out, get yourself a Windows phone. You'll be happy. But right now, if you get a Windows phone, you're just gonna be like, damn it, on my old phone I can actually play games. Now I just have solitary. But other than that, it's a good phone. All right. Now for the real reason why I'm here after my rambling about the, Windows phone. So, like I was saying, Tumblr, I got a request on there for a review of the new Star Wars movie. And, of course, I'm going to do it now. The reason why I was waiting was because I wanted to do a review with friends of mine that I went to go see it with. I saw it on Thursday, the pre-premiere of it, Thursday night, and it was awesome. And then I saw it again with friends on Friday, and I want to do a review with them, but it's taken some time because one of our friends didn't get to see it at that time. He was going to see it later, and I wanted to include him in the review. But anyways, hopefully that review will happen at some point. Get you a nice, basically, group review of it. But until then, I did actually want to do 2 other reviews anyways. One review that's spoiler free, just a straight up review for the movie, and another that has spoilers in it that where I'm actually going into the movie itself, going into some of the theories that I have about the movie too. So I'll do both of them right now. I don't know. I've been wanting to do it for a while, like I said, and got a request, so now I have the motivation to do it, and I'll be on my wife to actually upload them because my videos come out a bit later. Sometimes it's because I'm just like, I don't really want to do a video today. Sometimes it's because, I do it and then it takes her, 2-3 weeks to actually, upload it onto her computer and everything.
Excuses. I've been in school.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, that's the reason why there's lag time. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's
Although
you.
now we have a roommate, maybe he can do it. He's sitting down there.
But anyways,
currently flipping me off.
my point being, I'll make sure that this review comes out quickly now that it has been requested. But yeah, so the new Star Wars movie. I don't know. It is absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. I don't know. A lot of the professional movie reviewers have looked at it, rather unfavorably, which I totally understand. They've basically said that it's basically a rip-off of the previous films. Now, like I said, this is gonna be my spoiler-free review, so I'll try to go into as few details as I can, but of course I am going to give away something. So if you don't want any spoilers at all, just leave it at that. It's awesome, but it does play off of episodes 4, 5, and 6. All right, but as far as an actual review goes, basically, what a lot of the movie reviewers have nitpicked it about is that, it's just the same storyline as, the original trilogy. Which it's really not. The reason why reviewers have said that is because in it, it opens and, what's his name? Poe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Poe. Poe.
You have a tablet right there.
Okay, anyways, I'm asking you because it's going to be a lot faster to ask you than to look it up on my tablet, waste people's time looking up on my tablet for 30 seconds, but thank you for making me stop and have to explain this, even though it's pretty simple. Anyways, like I was saying, so, basically what people are complaining about, why they say, it's just, the same thing that we saw before, is Poe, he's on Jakku, which is a desert planet like Tatooine. And long story short, he ends up having to give information vital to Les Resistance, which is the new rebellion, to his droid BB-8. That's that little, cute circle droid. And it wanders off into the desert trying to find somebody to give the information to. Trying to find a way to get the information back to Les Resistance. Yeah, that's BB-8. My wife just handed me the cup with him on it. All right. But yeah, much like, R2 escaping the ambassadorship with Princess Leia on it with the Death Star plans. But it's very different because, it's honestly much different information. At that point, it's kind of left ambiguous as to what exactly the information is and everything. But he does go off into the desert. It is a little cute droid wandering the desert with information to Les Resistance, just like, R2 with the rebellion back in episode 4. That's true. And it is an obvious homage to episode 4. And then the other thing that people complained about was later on in the movie. I'm gonna try and give away as little as I can. Like I said, later on in the movie, there's the super mega Death Star. It's huge. It's much bigger than the original Death Star. It does much more damage than the original Death Star. It's the Death Star on steroids, basically. And Les Resistance has to blow it up. But, the focus of it isn't blowing it up. It's getting Finn off of Super Death Star. and and people compare it to them saving Leia from the Death Star as well. Which I mean it's comparable. It's pretty different though. And then they compare Les Resistance having to blow it up to uh, the Rebellion blowing up the original Death Star twice. But it is a bit different. If you watch the movie, there is a point to the Super Death Star. It is different than the original Death Star for sure, and it's also the way they destroy it very different than the original, and it actually makes sense. One of the things that that Neil deGrasse Tyson complained about was the Super Death Star, and I'm going to give away the spoilers that he already gave away. Alright, so on Tumblr, I mean not Tumblr, but Twitter, he basically said, oh yeah, a planet that could, if a planet were to capture the energy of a star, would just explode. And that's what this Super Death Star does. It captures the energy of a star and then destroys, an entire system, not just a planet, an entire system, And Neil deGrasse Tyson, being a Trekkie, complained about that. And in all reality, he's not thinking about it like a scientist. He's thinking about it like a Trekkie, and just wanting to complain about it. And he's already been proven wrong about several other things they said. But in all reality, this isn't just a planet. It's not a planet sucking the energy from a star. It's, like I said, a Super Death Star. It's not a planet. It's a manufactured thing. And they use the planet to do it, but it's designed specifically to steal the energy from a sun. Alright, you can say, that's impossible, and everything, but, like, theoretically, it could happen. A star is just a gigantic, nuclear reactor, they have super advanced technology in the movies, so, to say, oh yeah, they could develop basically a chamber to hold this giant nuclear reactor, and it'd be about the size of a planet. All right, theoretically, why not? Now, you could say, well, containing all the energy, all the mass of that star, blah, 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 into an area the size of a planet, that would, turn it into a black hole, and that's a viable argument scientifically, but, they could potentially harness the energy of a sun into a planet, because it's not a planet, it's, like I said, a Super Death Star. And like I said, Tyson was complaining about it not from the point of view of a scientist, but, from the point of view of a Trekkie, which I get. I love Star Trek too. I love Star Trek and Star Wars both. Personally, I like Star Wars better, and oh my god, I'm a horrible person for that, I know, but, that's me. But yeah, no, I do personally like Star Wars better than Star Trek, but I really love both of them a lot. But anyways, what I was saying was, he wasn't really looking at it from a scientific point of view. He was looking at it from, I love Star Trek point of view, which, I get that. That's fine, But, to be like, oh, I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, so I know science, so therefore why I say goes, like, he can't do that with something that he's biased about. And that's exactly what he did. And, he complained about, BB-8 not being able to travel on sand because BB-8 is an orb. And, he wouldn't have proper traction, blah, blah, blah. And, he was proven wrong straight up about that because BB-8, a lot of BB-8 stuff was actually practical. They did build a BB-8 droid, and they did, drive it around in the sand. And they even, did, after, he posted that, I'm not sure who it was, if it was Abrams or if it was the, special effects guy, the guy that, designed BB-8, or, who exactly it was, but somebody, from Star Wars actually made a video just of them, controlling BB-8 and driving them around in the sand perfectly, no problem, and after that, Tyson, apologized, just like, alright, you were right about that, and, honestly, I have to say he's wrong about this. Had he have said, it would have created a black hole, taking all that energy into the size of a planet, alright, I can't argue with that, but, it wouldn't destroy the planet. Because it's not a planet. It's a gigantic weapon that's designed specifically to do this. You know, and yeah, it requires suspension of disbelief. You have to, believe in the Force and the Star Wars universe and all of that to be able to, accept the idea of that. But, they have fucking floating cars and pod races and lightsabers and holograms and, light speed and hyperdrives and, all of this stuff. So, I think we can suspend our disbelief in the idea that they can create a super weapon that can absorb the power of a sun. I mean, that's not all that much more far-fetched than, anything else in the movie. But, yeah, so, those were the main complaints, that, BB-8's on a desert, and, they have to blow up the Super Death Star, which is called, what was it called? The, I can't remember the name of it offhand. Let's see here. Death Star, Star Destroyer. I can't remember what was offhand. It was actually it was a good name. It was a very Star Wars name. Very straight to the point. You have a saber made out of light. It's called a lightsaber. You have a thing that brings death to stars. It's called a Death Star. You have an armada of ships that can wipe out an entire solar system, and the ships are called Star Destroyers. I mean, it's very straightforward. Same with this one. It was a very straightforward name, but it was a very good name too. I liked it. I just can't remember what was offhand.
Name for what?
The Super Death Star from Force Awakens. I just can't remember offhand. I'm not worried about it. But yeah, so because they had to destroy it, and because they had to rescue Finn from it, people are, saying, oh yeah, it's just like the original Star Wars, which it's not. It was very different. The way that they destroyed it was very different. The way that they found out about it and everything was, very different as well. And, as far as rescuing Finn honestly rescued herself. She didn't need them.
Finn isn't the girl.
Oh yeah, Finn is the guy. Rey. Sorry, Rey. Finn is the guy. Rey is the girl. I apologize. I got their names mixed up. But yeah, Rey, she basically, rescued herself from the Super Death Star. She honestly didn't need help. The only thing that she might have needed help with was a ride out of there. But even then, I'm sure she could have handled herself. It wasn't a, oh, we need to rescue her kind of situation, even. But yeah, so long story short, that's my review of professional movie reviewers. They're wrong on this one. But then again, I also think they were wrong about Avatar, because you had film critics lining up to blow James Cameron after Avatar came out. And, oh my god, that movie was just such a piece of shit. Like, it was unoriginal and every single way. Like, and they were like, oh my god, the special effects are amazing. But he literally just stole the special effects from Jurassic Park, Star Wars Episode 2, Dragon Heart, what? And the IMAX film on fixing the Hubble Space Telescope. Like literally that's all it was. It was nothing new. There were no new special effects or anything at all in it. The 3D that he used from it, he literally stole from NASA. NASA did it for a documentary on rebuilding the Hubble Space Telescope, doing repairs to it, and he literally just stole it from them. Which, I'm not upset that he stole it from him. It's just annoying that, he's heralded as this great genius when, his big contribution to cinema was coming up with the name unobtainium. Which, again, that too is a very Star Wars name. It's very simple, straight to the point. You know exactly what unobtainium is just by hearing it, just like you know exactly what a lightsaber is just by hearing it. But, I mean, it was really unoriginal. The plot was, nothing that we haven't seen a million times before. My brother-in-law loves it because, it's literally just, cowboys and Indians in space. And he loves it because of that, And I totally get that. And if people were to say, hey, it's, Dances with Wolves with blue face paint, it's great, I'd be okay with that review. But people heralded, Cameron as a, cinema genius for it, which is bullshit. He wasn't. He did nothing new, nothing original. It was just rehashing old ideas, old technology, and, mixing it all together and hoping that looked new. And people just, loved it for some reason, which I do not understand at all. But anyways, point being, Force Awakens was great. And I know this is a now 20 plus minute long review of a movie where, maybe 5 minutes of this was an actual review of the movie. But like I said, it's a spoiler free review. So, I'm trying not to go too much into details, just, give you, basic plot points that they went to in the reviews itself, and basic stuff that, other people have talked about that I'm responding to, but, yeah, it's a great movie. Go out, see it yourself, get your own opinion on it. That's the best thing to do, really. But yeah, so now I'm going to go ahead and make my spoiler and theory-filled review of the movie next. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. And if you did, go ahead, like the video. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. If you didn't like it, go ahead and hit the dislike button. I don't mind. Your opinion is welcome. If you have something you say in response to it, go ahead, leave it in the comments. If you have a request, leave it in the comments. Message me on Tumblr, on Facebook, whatever, however you want to do it, go ahead. But, yeah, alright, thanks for watching.